Tom McClintock, live from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning.
Let me ask you this. With Republicans winning control of the House, how will this be affecting your agenda for this session?
Well, there's not a lot we can do to reverse the damage without the Senate and the President, but we can at least slow the damage that's being done. All spending bills originate in the House of Representatives, meaning that this government cannot spend a single dollar unless the House of Representatives says it can spend that dollar. That gives us considerable latitude in helping to shape the agenda, as well as the necessary steps to bring this reckless spending under control, spending that is now driving the highest inflation rate in 40 years.
Well, the GOP now has a small majority, very similar to the lead Democrats currently are holding right now. The Democrats saw their agenda derailed by one or two members of their own party. What do you think is going to happen with the Republicans? Could that be a case, or do you think it'll be different?
Well, it's certainly a possibility. We saw that happen in California. The last time the Republicans had a majority in the state assembly was 1994. And we had three Republican assembly members join forces with the Democrats, defeat the assembly majority, and that was the last time the Republicans ever held one. I would hate to see that be the epitaph of this new majority, particularly given the magnitude of the problems that we now have to confront.
Inflation, that continues to be a big issue everybody's concerned with. What can Congress do to help with this problem?
We all know the definition of spending. Of inflation. It's too many dollars chasing too few goods. We have recklessly spent and printed trillions of dollars that we don't have, and that's what's driving the inflation rate. To borrow from James Carville, it's the spending stupid. Spending has got to be brought under control, or we're going to continue to see inflation ravage family incomes and ravage the economy.
A quick question. Do you support Kevin McCarthy to be the next Speaker of the House?
I do.
One of the things we always ask about is probably one of the top issues ever in California. That's water. What are your plans now that you have the GOP control in the House going forward? What can you do helping the Valley when it comes to water?
Well, I used to chair the Water and Power Subcommittee of Natural Resources, and what I learned in those years is that droughts are nature's fault. They happen. But water shortages are our fault. Water shortages are a choice we made 40 years ago when we began passing environmental laws that have made the construction of new reservoirs endlessly time-consuming and ultimately cost-prohibitive. We are not going to solve our water shortage until we build more dams, and we're not going to build more dams until we can overhaul those environmental laws. The good news is the last time the Republicans had a majority in the House, we passed my legislation for one-stop permitting, basically streamlined permitting for new dam construction. That passed the House. We couldn't quite get it past the 60-vote cloture rule in the Senate, but that is one of my top priorities for the coming session.
So that's something we should keep an eye on, is that bill coming back, correct?
Correct. I can guarantee it's coming back. I'll be introducing it the first week in January. And I'm, well, let's say cautiously optimistic that we will once again be able to get it through the House. Once it gets to the Senate, that becomes a more difficult lift.
Well, Congressman Tom McClintock, thank you so much for joining us this morning.